to marry at Westminster Abbey, but already there are fears that protesters plan to disrupt the occasion.
Police say they're considering tough measures to prevent disorder at the royal wedding, such as stop and search powers to catch potential troublemakers. Carla Eberhardt reports.
The royal wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton will be the biggest since the marriage of his parents, Prince Charles and Lady Diana. Their fairy tale wedding at St Paul's Cathedral 30 years ago was watched by millions around the world. But as the nation prepares to celebrate in just 4 weeks' time, anarchists have confirmed they plan to attend.
Monarchist to anarchist to socialist to Republican, we will be everywhere. We will be lining the whole of the route. It will not be at all easy to pick us out and say you're a troublemaker and you're not.
Chris Knight took part in the budget cut protests at the weekend. He denies that the safety of Prince William and Kate will be threatened on their big day and says that violence is not their intention.
The message we want to send out is that we, the taxpayer, we pay for this wedding, okay? Therefore, it's our party.
Police have confirmed they may use stop and search powers to identify protesters.
The event itself, the passage from Buckingham Palace to Westminster, will be sterilised and cleared probably 2 or 3 days beforehand. So, you know, the opportunities for the would-be anarchist or whatever is going to be severely limited.
Thousands of police officers are expected to line the wedding route, particularly during the royal procession. 500,000 well-wishers are expected to travel to London to see the new royal couple, and the Metropolitan Police Commissioner has ruled that no expense should be spared to ensure the wedding goes ahead peacefully.
Well, joining us on the sofa now is royal biographer Hugo Vickers and Chris Knight, who we just saw in that report. Thanks for coming in to chat to us, you guys.
Yeah. Hugo, what do you think? I mean, these protests will happen, so what are your views on it?
Well, I don't mind people protesting, but I don't think they should protest the royal wedding. I think it's extremely unfair on the young couple, the perfectly nice couple getting married. And also, of course, the huge security issues involved with anything to do with a state occasion or a royal wedding. And the police, I think, are absolutely justified in taking every possible precaution to see that the wedding passes off happily and will be enjoyed by a great number of people.
So, Chris, what kind of protests are there
I don't ever do protests. We do street theatre. And the invitation card is the government of the dead request the pleasure of your company at the right royal, and there's a word here which is 4 letters, and I'm not supposed to say it, but it begins with an O and it ends with a Y, and there's an RG somewhere in the middle. This means a sexy party, a fancy dress party, and that's what royalty is. It's all fancy dress. We want to be not just consuming this production, we want to be producing it.
In the latest protest, which you were involved in organising parts of it, were you not? Were these not also your words? Take over, strike, occupy, release all hell.
Yes, yes. This was street
theatre.
theatre.
That doesn't sound like street theatre.
Well, that particular what it was. We had a Trojan horse. We do street theatre, and what I'm saying is we need to release all hell against a regime which nobody elected. Nobody elected this government.
But why on this particular day?
No, don't get me wrong. This is a completely different day. And let me say, what you do not want at a wedding is sterility. We just heard that, right? The whole area is going to be sterilised. You need fertility. You need enjoyment. I'm not a killjoy. Let's bring some... The biggest mistake of a fairy tale is to exclude the most important guests.
Are you married?
I'm not married, no.
Were you married?
No, never been married.
Never been married. Well, then you probably don't understand how lovely it is for a bride.
That's a disgraceful thing to say. I've got 5 grandchildren. I'm very happy. I don't have to believe in marriage.
But the point I was trying to make is that a wedding is a very special occasion. You're a perfectly nice couple.
Yes.
And you actually have a fantastic opportunity here with millions of viewers to make the point you want to make without mucking up their day. I'll say nothing.
Mucking up the day.
No, say what you want to say now. Why not?
What I'm saying is,
this is
fancy
what are you protesting about?
I'm not protesting against.
Oh.
No.
I'm sorry. So you just want to disrupt the occasion.
No. Why are you saying that?
Because you're saying it. You want.
I've never said anything about disrupting. This is fancy dress.
Okay.
We want to be wearing our finest. We want to be part of the occasion in our own way. It's a party for all of us. We've paid. Apparently no expense spared, says the Metropolitan Police. No expense spared, while they're sacking lollipop ladies, by the way. No expense spared. We're paying for that, therefore it's our party. We want to be part of the production of this royal occasion.
But you said in the piece there that we just watched that you deny that the Prince and Kate will be threatened in any way. But we go back to, and you say this street theatre thing, and we go back to the anti-cuts protest at the weekend, but we saw images of people bashing in cash machines just there. I mean, that's not street theatre as far as I'm concerned. concerned. And I'm not saying, Chris, that you're behind that, but there's always an element of any kind of street protest that takes it a step too far.
Those were carefully targeted criminal outfits. Particular banks, by the way, there's a lot of crime going on in very high places. We all know about the bankers and their crimes. Those are carefully targeted, those particular banks. And all we had actually there was a bit of cosmetic rearrangement of the fronts of those buildings.
Yes, well,
to make a point.
No, but we're end up paying for it anyway to fix it, don't we?
In Spain, in 1906, there was a bit of attempted cosmetic rearrangement. They tried to throw a bomb at the royal couple and tried to blow them up. There was blood all over the Queen of Spain's wedding dress.
Please do not accuse any of us of being terrorists. I am not a terrorist.
I think this is the point you're trying to make, actually.
But some of those people are criminals.
Exactly, and this is probably...
There's a lot of crime going on around in high places: financial crime, land crime, property crime, war crime, in very high places. I want to crack down on crime, starting at the top. That's what it's all about.
The problem is, Chris...
This day is a different day.
Those criminals, those thugs, are inextricably linked with the protests that you claim...
Which thugs are you talking about?
The ones that we do with one just themes, the ones that were redecorating the buildings. Whether you guys are
criminals and thugs? That's Gaddafi's language against pro-democracy demonstrators. That's Mubarak's language. We are for democracy. We are pro-democracy. This is the youth revolution sweeping across the Arab world. We wanted to hit this country. Democracy should rule.
But why do these gentlemen have their faces covered and not want to be seen?
I'm not one of them. I don't do that. I've got my face open. I imagine it's because they don't want to be arrested by the regime. That's what I imagine.
Well, I think the police have a very strong duty to make sure that the royal wedding passes off safely, and everybody who wants to enjoy it can do so.
Good. So are we included? Are we on the guest list?
I don't think you're on the guest list.
In that case, do not be very careful. You will turn a blessing into a curse. It's a fairy tale theme.
Gentlemen, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much indeed for sharing your views. And thank you at home as well for getting in touch. A lot of you have had some very strong views and thoughts on that.
Fired up this morning.